Hi, and welcome back to my channel. This is the Trite Maniac, or Dr. Nighttime if you want to call you by my in-game name. And Merry Christmas, everyone! Except that I'm Jewish and don't celebrate Christmas, but still, Merry Christmas, everyone! And in honor of Christmas, I figured why not show off my red-green deck? Yeah, so here's my red-green deck. I've had a lot of success with it. I'd say it's almost, objectively, almost as good as the Royce deck I shared earlier. The advantage that this one has is that it's a lot harder to counter, right? That Royce deck, if you run something with a lot of blue that has big power numbers and destroys a crystal like every turn, that can counter the Royce deck pretty well. This doesn't have that weakness. And so there's nothing that's particularly good against this deck. Flip side is, because this deck doesn't use any crystal destruction, that means that sort of Royce deck is strong against this deck. But going through, so the big crystal burns, crystal users that you'll see are Maxisur and Panatasis. I specifically don't run Woodrunodon. I've just found the difference between 4 crystals and 5 crystals is a really significant one. And that with Woodrunodon, it was just a dead card most of the time. Whereas I could run, in almost any other situation, there was something else that I would want to run that I would want to play that would +1 for me. And so, since it's a red-green deck, right, you've got to have stuff on the green side and on the red side, right? So first of all, there are the generators. For the green generators, Krogus, obviously, I would argue best generator in the game, and Blueless. You have to be a little careful with Blueless, just because if you already have 3 crystals, he'll only get you 1. So note, that's also yet another reason you wouldn't want to run Woodrunodon. Because getting to 5 crystals, if you have 3 crystals, Blueless won't get you to 5. It'll keep you at 4. Anyway, on the red side, there's Weserdos, and then I feel a little better with Narrator than with Mektor. Just that, yes, getting crystals of 2 different colors is good, but I found that just more consistently getting that second crystal, I even feel is more valuable than the difference between a 1 and a 2, right? Even though, yes, Narrator is a 2, but because he powers up the opponent by 1, it's as if he's only a 1. And then, of course, well, what if you only have crystals of 1 color? So that's where you've got Pestivalas on the green side and Flamabot on the red side. Previously, I was running Box Punter. I just found Flamabot's a little bit better, to my mind, just because, well, suppose that you have everything set up, either a red and a green for Maxisur, or 4 of mixed colors for Panatasis. Flamabot is likely to preserve that status, right? Uses 1 red crystal, and is highly likely to take damage or tie in combat. So you get your crystal back. So it can be used as a +1 that stalls into your Maxisur or Panatasis turn. And then for the last 2 cards, there's Demzoris. Could go with Box Punter instead for this slot, of just needing something else in that slot, but I've had success with Demzoris. And Parteloader. Right? Parteloader, good for closing out a winning position, and also, because this deck is just so strong on tempo, you're likely to be in a winning position more often than not. As well as, Parteloader is also just good at closing out and getting the final damage to win games. Yeah, so it's 5 red, 5 green. I guess that's part of another reason why I run Demzoris rather than Box Punter, just keeping the 5-5 split. Because remember, Parteloader himself will get you a red crystal. Although I guess you could argue that that means you're more likely to have excess red than excess green. I don't know. Another card I was considering running instead of Damzoras was Salapris, but I just found he wasn't plussing as consistently. And yes, a lower cost shouldn't be quite as... It shouldn't have as powerful a payoff. Still, if you play a Salapris and the opponent pluses, and then you can't capitalize on the opponent not having... not being able to gain crystals next turn, you feel bad about the Salapris play. There's almost never a time when you feel bad about the Damzoras play. Anyway, rather than arranging a game with a human opponent, I'm just going to go through 3 games against the AI. And I know games against the AI are not as good are not really as good indicators as are games against actual humans, but I got what I got. Alright, we want a generator on our first turn, so Narrator is the play. Alright. Now can we get a green generator? Yes, we can. If we couldn't, I would have played Pestvelos here just to try to get a mix of red and green. Alright, is the opponent running a Royce build? We saw blue generators plus Mector. Okay, yeah, so here, again, here's a great spot where, assuming our crystals don't get destroyed by a Vedin here, or a Lindeen, okay, so kind of blew up a little. Yeah, we would have been set up for the Panaticus if not for the Lindeen play, but at least we're still set up for the Maxisor. Although I guess we still would have been had that been a Box Punter instead of a Flambox, so didn't quite work out as advertised. But yeah, I think this is that weird Royce deck that I just don't think works very well. Okay, yeah, blue list rather than Narrator, obviously. Better to +1 on your crystal gain than not. And once again, Panaticus denied based on just that sort of random garbage of just playing exactly the card that could stop us. Still, can't complain about a 1 health, 1 crystal lead. Max is about to come back in rotation. Yeah, I'm thinking Slamabot. Oh, and hey, it denies the Mector. There's the Maxisor. Don't say no to a +2. Now I have to be a little careful here because I believe this Royce build runs Panaticus. And opponent is perfectly set up for a Panaticus. Yeah, so might as well just try to cash in. Heal 2, heal 2. And now we start thinking about closing out the game. Okay, obviously can't take too much damage here. We're kind of on low health. Yeah, okay, this is a situation where Box Punter would actually be good. I'm gonna damage Zorus here, rather than Blueless. Just because I don't want my health to get any lower. The thought is, either I get the green, in which case Panadsis and Maxister both win the game, or if I wasn't going to gain a crystal, then opponent was going to lose 1 health and Flamabot would have won. That was part of the thought process there. And there we go. We win on 2 health. Little bit closer than I normally like, but you know, when you have a couple of turns in there where opponent plays the 1 card that'll block the Panadsis, you don't complain about winning by 2. Alright, so Blueless, as good as a Progus in this situation, if you have to keep one of them out of rotation, better for Blueless to be out of rotation, because it's just not as good a card. Alright, might as well go for the Progus. It's not a play I particularly like. Ouch. Okay. Okay, Damzoris isn't bad in this situation. By the way, notice, on standard tempo, the Donnell only really served to keep it tied. Now we have a lead. Okay, Weestergoss, and let's see how many of our crystals get destroyed this turn. None of them. Ooh. And maybe Panadsis? No Panadsis. Never mind that we had, like, 3 turns last game where, oh, it shows up right when we can't use them. And, of course, the crystal's getting destroyed. We're playing against blue. What did we expect was going to happen? And now Panadsis shows up. Alright, I'm gonna go Narrator so that even if 1 crystal gets destroyed, we can still Panadsis next turn. Okay, and here's a situation where Wood Rundun might actually work if we were to draw it. But notice, no point last game! Wood Rundun has actually worked. And, oh hey, we can actually Panadsis. And opponent does not have 2 crystals to be able to Cali or Marie us. So here we go. Alright, so can't really think about closing the game out yet. I feel like we're getting Lysetted here. Yep, we're getting Lysetted here. Yeah, notice Progress's ability goes off even if you drop down to 6 health mid-turn. Ooh. Let's be sneaky. Let's try to Party Loader for the win with the 2 1s. There's the win. Winning at 6 health. Much more like how this deck normally runs. And just one more game to show off what the deck tends to do. Okay, so now it's actually the opponent who gains the 2 crystals and we only gain the 1. Opponent takes the damage and we don't. Alright. Blueless, just to try to... Okay, and that crystal gets destroyed, but... Notice we still have an advantage. Again, opponent Damus, and we ended up significantly better off after the play. Narrator. So yeah, Damus is overrated, as I've said time and time again. And Panchanging mid-game. Yeah, don't Panchang in the mid-game. Banana says we've got everything set up for him. Alright, we heal 2, we take 2 from the Grandwinster, but not going to complain about a 4 health, 1 crystal lead. Alright, don't really like having 3 crystals all of one color, but what can you do? I mean, you can Party Loader to try to convert the advantage. Or you can say, look, you can Damus me and I still will have red. Now let's Party Loader. With this kind of a lead, you just convert the advantage. Alright, so Progress in hindsight would have been a better play, but again, just because a play pays off doesn't mean it was a good play. Just because a play doesn't pay off doesn't mean it was a bad play. Clueless. And our red gets destroyed, but whatever. Again, 4 health, 1 crystal lead. And no need to close out the game just yet. You know, it's not... If the opponent were on like 3 health, then yeah, I would Damzoris there to try to get the 2 points. So instead of a 4 health, 1 crystal lead, it's a 1 health, 4 crystal lead. Maxisser gets us pretty much halfway to defeating the opponent. A little more than halfway to defeating the opponent. Alright, opponent needs to heal here. Pestiferos won't do it. Damzoris will. Damzoris will keep the opponent alive at 1 health. There we go, Damzoris. Flanalot, not much that can survive that. Okay, and winning the game at 5 health. But yeah, as you can see, pretty consistently gaining a sizable... So, winning with a sizable amount of leftover HP. Granted, it's against the AI. Winning against the AI is not the same as winning against a human with human intelligence. The AI here is, as I've mentioned, uses a rather loose definition of intelligence for artificial intelligence. But still, I hope you saw how the deck works, and why I chose to include each of the cards I included. And there are some substitutions, like, am I fully committed to the idea of, oh, damn, Zoras is better in that situation than Box Puncher is? No, I'm not. There is some wiggle room for what you could put in. Maybe Rebel would be good in that last slot, instead of a damn Zoras, just something where as long as you draw 1 red and 1 green alongside her, then, it's a 4 that doesn't give your opponent the crystal. There's definitely room for experimentation with this general deck style, but definitely can't complain about the results I've had with this deck. And yeah, I hope you found it informative. And again, Merry Christmas, everyone. Until next time, take care.